It's like George is not responsible. Well, of course he is responsible in the truest sense of the word in that he fired the shot. He pulled the trigger. And to me, this is just inciting more problems.
And I got to, Ryan,
Jason Johnson.
Yeah, and I got to jump in here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have been so bemused by George Zimmerman's brother and by the lawyers last night saying with these solemn faces, and now he'll never get his life back. He's got to live the rest of his life looking behind his shoulder. Really? Like, he might have to leave a 7-Eleven worried about a stranger coming after him. Look, I don't really think that George Zimmerman's life is going to be as negatively affected as the sob story that his brother and his lawyers want to talk about. That guy raised a lot of money from private sources to run this. There are people out there who support him, and he'll hide for a couple of months, and then he'll be on the speaking silver, maybe behind closed doors. But George Zimmerman's life is going to be a lot better than he seems to want to portray it at this particular point. There are
Jason,
people who
I'm going to press on the other side. Wait, guys, I'm going to press on the other side of that, Jason. The other side of that is I've covered many cases, Casey Anthony, others. Those people, you don't see them anymore because they are afraid for their safety, and they start thinking, hey, where can I go? It's like they're free, but they're not free.
Ryan.
So you think he's going to be walking around giving speeches? You do?
I think behind closed doors, I think there are organizations out there. He's going to show up at some NRA event. He will.
Yeah.
There are going to be organizations out there that want to hear George Zimmerman speak because they believe that he was innocent, or they believe that all young black men are inherently dangerous. So this sort of myth that he's going to live a Casey Anthony life or an O.J. Simpson life, I don't think that's true. I think he'll be worried for a while, but there will be ways that he can cash in on his experience, and there are groups of people in this country who will embrace him for what he did. He's not going to suffer a living prison for the rest of his life.
You know, this so neatly illustrates.
Go ahead, Darren.
This so neatly illustrates what was written about in a very famous book called Man's Search for Meaning. And it talks there that it's not the events that happen to us in our life that shape our experience of being alive. It's the meaning that we ascribe to it. And it's so amazing how on social media and just in this conversation that we're having, we're all looking at these events in entirely different ways. And it's funny, Jason and I are going back at each other on Twitter to further this conversation on the commercial breaks, where I say that that resignation and cynicism, which is what I hear, these disempowering views about change takes a long time and we need a time machine to go back, and it's just the truth somehow with a capital T that this is what it means to be alive in America now. I think that's all BS, and it doesn't serve us.
Ryan,
Okay, Mo, go ahead.
Yes, I want to say this, and judge me if you want, but I don't care what happens to George Zimmerman after this, what his life is like. In fact, I hope that he has nightmares for the rest of his life and that Trayvon's spirit haunts him every single day. That is my wish for George Zimmerman. And for Robert Zimmerman, shut your racist mouth. This is the same man that a couple of weeks ago or last week was tweeting and comparing Trayvon to a young boy who shot a baby in the face. This is outrageous to have Robert Zimmerman saying anything. I want the Zimmermans to shut it down. Okay, you won. Now have enough respect for everybody to deal with this verdict and to try to figure out a way to move on. I'm just so tired of it.
Isn't anybody having to shut their mouth?
All right, and Mike Brooks, no, let me, guys, hold on, guys. Mike Brooks, I want you to jump in on this because I think when we look at this case, you can just see from our panel, and I think everybody on our social media as well is weighing in, passionate, strong, and Robert Zimmerman speaking out. I wonder, Mike, if you think, does this, given the fact that there are factions on both sides who feel strongly about this, do you think it helps or hurts his brother?
I don't think it helps anything. I think you just let it sit, you know, and just let it be. Let everyone kind of try to we're not going to get back. Look, no one on either side is going to get back to normal. But you know what? Just zip it for now and let it be.
Right.
I don't
All right,
know.
you see how our panel feels. Guys, I got to take a break. You see how our panel feels? I know you're feeling the same way at home. Maybe you feel differently from our panel, but I know you're having strong feelings nonetheless. We're going to keep talking about this case. We are live in Sanford, Florida. We're bringing you every single update after the verdict. Keep it right here.